First of all, what do you want to get out of your final game of the regular season?
Yeah, great performance, number of reasons. Obviously for our home fans, but Jonesy, it's a big week for him. Corey Johnson, we've got a young guy making his debut too. So we've got enough reasons, regardless of, I guess, our inability to move up or down the Super League table on this last week. We're not in Friday night, I think, as it's been built up, and obviously the playoff spots, there's a chance of the 5, even 6 shaking about a bit, but I don't think we can move, but we've got our own reasons to turn up and play. It's always a tricky week when you know that this is potentially the case, but we've been really happy with the boys, where the boys have turned up and trained this week. We had a real positive team run, they're in great spirits. Got a couple of guys obviously missing out of the 19, but it does give opportunity for some boys, albeit last game, I guess, to show me why they've sort of not been selected over a couple of weeks, and an opportunity to keep our minds strong on them during the close season.
We know all about Jamie Jones-Buchanan. I'll ask you about him in a second, but
yeah.
What about Corey Johnson? Tell us a bit about him.
Yeah, he's a player. Simon Bell brought him to the club, and I think he was a half-back as a junior. He's a Castleford boy. We won't hold that against him. He was a half-back as a junior, and Simon saw a big body in him. He's a tall, well-built kid for a 9 with a super skill set, and turned him into a hooker. And it's been a bit of a revelation, really. He made the England academy team, beat Australia. He's been a consistent and outstanding performer, really, in our academy. If we'd have had the opportunity to play him up a level or two a little bit more, we would. But Featherstone have been pretty well stocked for 9s. He's had a couple of good games with them. Probably academy week in, week out, just haven't really challenged him enough this year. And we always felt, if the opportunity presents itself, we'd like to see how he goes in first grade. Because as a young kid, he's still got a lot of growing to do. He's not been full-time all year. He's sort of been finishing his studies, so he's only had really a couple of months full-time. So there's a lot more physical development and maturation in him yet. But he's very, very skillful, smart player. It's be a big test for him. Be a big test. Tomorrow, we've already said to him, the next 10 years of your career isn't riding on tomorrow. I don't want you thinking that you've got to go out there and show everybody that you're a future international. We just want you to do your job, and for us, see how he copes with the physical nature of a very physical team that we're playing.
What about Jonesy? I mean, you've not been here that long, but I mean, you've been in a position to quantify his contribution not only to this club but to the sport as a whole.
I've just been talking to him out there. I've coached a lot of his brothers actually over the years. They've had the oldest one last. And in a way, he got injured when I sort of first came onto the staff, and it were a difficult rehab for him. We were determined to get him out before the end of the year. But I will say, probably over the last month, he has sort of almost forced his selection. And looking at the way he played last week, I'm a little bit like, maybe I could have found him a spot a week or two earlier. But yeah, we had concerns physically. I know we were travelling, but I thought last week it was magnificent. Personally, I'm pleased I got to see him in the team and coach him. I think everyone knows, and as we saw on presentation night, he's a great orator. He can talk about many subjects. He doesn't need any prompts. And he's a wonderful, interesting character. He's been a legend of the club in a legendary time for the club as well. It'd just be great to send him out. Send him out in the right way. He'll captain the team tomorrow. He tells me he's 1 from 1 as a captain. Wins, not the toss. So yeah, he's had an awesome career. He presented Corey with his shirt this morning, and was saying, when I'm 58 or 60 year old, I hope Corey's coming to the end of his 18, 19 years, whatever it's been.
Just checking, you never got a chance to play against him, did you? In any sort of...
No. Played against Rob Burrows, I think. Oh, maybe. Can't remember. It's a long time ago now, James.
It's a long time ago.
I can't remember, actually. And I'm usually not bad on that, but no, I don't think so. There's
a lot happened since then.
Yeah.
But lovely touch for him to lead the side out.
Trent Merrin's missing. And it's a bit of a natural choice for us, really. And there's going to be, I dare say, a lot of emotion certainly be a lot of emotion from Jonesy. You know, he's got a lot of tickets coming down tomorrow. You know, I think as a team, the crowd will feel it, and we need to replicate that and get behind him and play with a lot of emotion and spirit, because, you know, it'd be a big night for him. You know, say a word for Ben Westwood too. You know, I think I've been professional in the game for close to 30 years. You'll struggle to meet any two better blokes than Jonesy and Benny Westwood. So hopefully it's a fitting tribute to both players when they enter the playing arena tomorrow night.
And finally, for me, as the dust settles on 2019 after this game, how will you reflect on what's gone before?
Could be a while answering that one. Challenging, difficult, exciting, fun. Yeah, a whole host of things. Enlightening, but I think, as we were talking off camera just before, you know, I think the second half of the season, the bit I can confidently comment on, I think we've become a real competitive team. I think we're a win or two short of where I'd like us to have finished, and what perhaps our performances have warranted. But I'll also say, you know, I can point to some of the home games, Wigan, Hull, Salford last week. We've gone down narrow to some teams that have been in the, you know, the top 4, top 5 at that time. It does let us know where we're at as a team too. You know, there's no hiding from the fact that while our effort's been great, I think we've really improved as defence, as try-line defence, and as effort for each other has been magnificent. But it does show us that when we play the better teams, or the teams that's been the better teams in the comp this year, you know, there's still areas of our game what I think, you know, it's glaringly obvious that moving forward we need to be better. However, if we keep that same spirit, commitment, desire, willingness to do it, then you know, we can take the team forward for sure.